Hello, welcome back to Duty's Daggers, where we are talking about Leatherman today. These are my three main Leathermen that I use. If you don't know, I carry a Leatherman every single day, weekday that is. On weekends, I'll usually carry not a Leatherman, but if I'm working, I am always 100% of the time carrying a Leatherman. I use it all the time. I use it really all the freaking time. So I've gotten really used to carrying it, and I've just been doing it for so long that it's kind of second nature now. Um, this video is going to be a review on this one here. This is the Leatherman Wave Plus, and it is the latest Leatherman that I have tried. So let me take you really quickly through my Leatherman journey. Well, check out these sheaths first. These are not the sheaths that come with a Leatherman. These are called the Heritage sheaths, and they're real leather made in the U.S. And I much prefer these to the nylon sheaths that Leatherman come with. They're not too expensive. I think like 20, maybe like $20 probably. Um, this one I've had the longest, and you can see I've actually had to restitch it once. But they're pretty sturdy. The thing that usually breaks first is the belt loop. It'll get snagged on something and kind of rip out. But they're pretty darn sturdy. This one I've had for a couple months. This one I've had for like 6 months. This one I've had for years. So there you go. So this was the first Leatherman I started carrying really regularly, and it is the Rebar. It served me really well for a really long time, and I love it. But I wanted to upgrade to something with tools accessible from the outside. One thing about the Rebar is to get anything out, you need to open it up, and then you can get the blades out or anything else. Um, so I wanted something really kind of big and badass and heavy duty, so I decided to go with the Surge, which is this one. Leatherman Surge. This is the biggest Leatherman, the heaviest Leatherman, and the most heavy duty Leatherman. And I carried this for close to a year and really loved it. But I decided I kind of wanted to try something a little less heavy. Um, while I do love the Surge, it's, I got used to it being on my belt. Um, but after a while, I was like, man, it'd kind of be nice to just have something a little bit lighter. This is really heavy. In fact, we can get out my scale here and find out exactly how heavy it is. 12 ounces. Rebar is 6. So it's twice as heavy as the Rebar. It's heavy. And it's awesome. It has some really cool features, especially the replaceable T-shank adapter right here, meaning that you can switch this file out for a saw or any other tool that you want to put in there that has this adapter. So that's really cool. It's a way to personalize the tool, and it's awesome. Super big, heavy duty. I mean, these are just as big as like the regular pliers in your toolbox, and just as heavy duty as well. They're massive, and they're big, and they're awesome. But I wanted something a little lighter, so I decided to try the Wave Plus. It's basically a Surge, just scaled down and with not quite as many tools. You can see the resemblance there. We have tools accessible from the outside. Does not have the replaceable, T-shank adapter tool. But it's got a lot of the same things. So this is the Leatherman I've been carrying for close to 6 months now, not quite. And I really, really like it. I think this is probably my new favorite. The T-shank adapter is cool, but on a day-to-day basis, you don't really need it. It's cool to have, and I'm glad that I own one, because if I'm ever in a situation where I'm going to a job where I think I might need something like that, I'll definitely carry the Surge. But day to day, the Wave Plus I think is perfect for me. And I'm hard on these things. I mean, you could look at them. They have been beaten up. They have really been beaten up, these tools. I'm a welder, so I work with metal. They get covered in slag sometimes. I got to grind it off. I use them a lot to clean out the tip on my MIG torch. My MIG gun nozzle, and all kinds of other stuff. Picking up hot pieces of metal, all kinds of stuff like that. So there's the size comparison real quick. Surge in the middle. It's about the same size as the Rebar. Just about, yeah. But the handle is a little bit wider and a little bit more comfortable. So let's take these off and talk about the Wave Plus. So the tools accessible from the outside are the regular knife. I like the blade shape on it. It's pretty versatile, the point drops down nice and low. It's not the sharpest blade ever. I don't upkeep this knife as much as my other knives. This is kind of a cutting tool I bust out if I don't want to use my regular knife for, something. Maybe I'm cutting something against some metal or whatever. I don't want to, use my regular knife. I'll bust this one out. The serrated edge I use actually a lot. I think probably more than the regular edge, just because anytime I'm cutting rope or straps or anything, this serrated is really nice. It's very, very sharp. I like the shape of this one without the point. You can get behind a seat belt really easy like that without having a point on it and all that. And then we have a file, regular side, and then a diamond side. So that's nice and full sized as well. And then we have the wood saw over here. Don't use that very much, hardly at all, but it's there. And then on the inside, we have the bit driver. It's replaceable and interchangeable, so you can flip this around, get to the flathead, and you can also buy a pack of, I actually did buy some other bits, different sizes. You can even get Torx bits to put in there, just whatever you want. You could even carry the Leatherman bit set with this. That way you have a bunch of bits with you at all times. So that's nice. And then the only other tool over here is the cap lifter, right there. On the other side we have the flathead / pry tool. I use this for prying mostly. We have a tiny little driver, which I don't use very much. I almost wish this was a different tool in here. I just really don't need anything that tiny, really, day to day, but it's there. And then we have some scissors, which they're on the small side, but they do work really nicely. They are sharp and they do cut well. And that's all you got. And that's really all I need day to day. I mean, these things are heavy duty too. I mean, I've really wrenched on these things. They haven't bent. They haven't become loose or really anything. I really have zero complaints. I like the nice pop when you're opening. You kind of reach this point and then you kind of click them into place. No spring, obviously. I don't think any Leatherman have springs that I'm aware of. I don't need springs, use them like this. It's fine. I will say the head is a little less heavy duty than the Rebar. You can see the Rebar is like the head is kind of almost squared off and a little bit beefier in this area. A little bit beefier in general, kind of width-wise this way. The tips are a little beefier, being squared off instead of rounded. But really, is that much of a big deal? I don't think so. I've done everything with the Wave Plus that I've done with the Rebar, and it's been fine. So I don't think that's much of a big deal. Compared to the Surge, Surge has a much bigger plier head to it. Both replaceable wire cutters, obviously. These wire cutters are badass, man. I've even cut like 332 welding rod with this stuff, with these cutters. Up here is kind of like the regular wire cutters, and down where that little notch is kind of like the heavy wire cutters where if you're cutting something thicker, you would do it down there. Um, yeah, the Wave Plus is really nice, man. It is really nice having tools accessible from the outside. And really, the only tool that I use regularly on the outside is the serrated edge or the file. I just don't really need the wood saw very much. It's just convenient, Take it out of your pocket, pop this open, cut, put it away. Everything is locking. Just push this little tab in to disengage the lock. Opening one-handed, you can. If your other hand is really occupied and you need to get this out, it's possible. Not very fast. Definitely not as fast as like the Free series, but it's doable. I just think this is the perfect size for day-to-day stuff. If you're someone that doesn't worry or doesn't care about weight at all, the Surge, you might like the Surge better. But me, I think, even though I usually don't care about weight, but I have so much other stuff on me. I have knives and flashlights and, usually 2 knives and a flashlight. If I can cut down on weight a little bit, then I will do that. So this is my favorite. This is my favorite Leatherman so far, the Wave Plus. And I know it is probably their most popular one, and for good reason. It's really good. Now I know there's a new one out now called the Arc, which it seems a little overpriced, and I'm kind of I'm not really able to use that Leatherman at work. Same with the Free series because of the magnets that are used inside of it. I'm a welder. I'm around little bits and metal dust and flakes, and it would just get attracted in there and just get covered with a metal dust that I would be, I think, having a really hard time getting out. It would always be gritty. I'd always be trying to blow it out to clean the magnets, and it just seems like a nightmare. I've never tried carrying one, and I almost kind of want to try it just to see if it would be a big deal. Maybe I'm overthinking it. In the comments, let me know if you are someone that carries, Leatherman Free series or the new Arc. Does the magnets in there get all crusted up with metal bits, or does it not matter, or what? What's the deal? Because, well, I guess the only real plus I think for the Free series is just being able to quickly open it one-handed. That's really nice. There's definitely situations fairly regularly where I'm doing something with this hand and I want to get my pliers out. And usually I have to put it down, open my pliers, and then pick it back up and do whatever I'm doing. But being able to pop these open one hand would be really sweet. So there you go. Been carrying this for almost 6 months and I've really 0 complaints. It's held up to everything I've thrown at it, and I've been real tough on it. The blade does not hold an edge super well, obviously. Not even sure what blade steel this is, but it's nothing fancy. That's to be expected, Be cool if they started putting better blade steel on here, like 154 cm, even M390 blade would be sweet. Anything really. That's kind of the other cool thing about the Arc is they have a MagnaCut blade on that one. So, anyways, there you go, folks. Leatherman Wave Plus. And if you don't want to spend that much money, the Rebar really is a really good choice. You can get these for $65, I think, maybe 75. But it's the cheapest of all these on the table, definitely. The Surge is pricey. It's up to I don't know. I don't even want to say. I'm not sure. Definitely more pricey than the Wave Plus. And then the Rebar is the most affordable. And it's heavy duty as hell, man. It really is. It's awesome. It's a very compact package, too. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Like the video. And I'll see you soon.